My life since I got to Canada. I got to Canada for the first time. I came to Canada 2023 and ending of the year, right? So when my mom told me, oh my god, oh, immigration said you should bring your passports, that day I cried. Like I just realized, like I came to a realization because I've been trying to leave the country for a very long time. I've written exams like SAT and TOEFL. So if you know about that, you know that the person has had that broad in their mind. But when I wrote those exams when I was 16 or 17, 16. So like traveling out has been in the plan. I've been like, as a Nigerian, you have to always have plan A and plan B. That was always my plan B. It was my plan A. Anyways, but as you know, so Punko, wetin children of God go do. So when my mom finally told me, and the day my mom told me was the week Triumphant Family was having a 7 day prayer. So every day we're having a 7 day vigil, and I was going for 7 days. That time, what the height I got to spiritually was new, and that week that was when I heard that I was going to be traveling. Like they told me when most times when immigration say come and submit your passport, you already know that you've already got the visa. Like, when I was in Calabar, I think I told like just 3 people, and because we were very close, and they kind of knew that at some point I was doing travel plans because I was always traveling like randomly. So there's people that are just so close to you, you can't keep lying. You just have to just say, this is waiting this up, waiting this up. In case you're my family and you have said, don't tell people you just have to find it. I would have to trust somebody eventually, right? So when I got it, I was so excited. I traveled out. I went to meet my mom in Canada, and I stayed in Canada for months. Then I had to go back to Nigeria because I was not done with school. Yeah, I was in my last year, so I was like, it was worth abandoning the university though, but God has had plans for me in Nigeria, and yeah, so I went back to school. So I will not rush. My life when I first came to Canada was I liked the weather because I always like cold. Like I'm a cold person, and when I was in Nigeria, I always like to sleep with fan. If there's heat, you see it in my face. Like my expression will just tell you I'm not comfortable. I like cold. So coming to Canada, my cousin was like, finally you go to cold. That was like for me. That was it to like cold weather, cold weather. So after staying, I stayed at home for like 1 month, just like getting to know Canada. Then I got a job. I was dating somebody before I traveled out, and oh my god, my relationship was different because first of all, the time zone in Nigeria is 6 hours ahead. So if you guys are in the midnight, it is my evening. So if you guys are in the morning, I'm sleeping. So the sacrifices you have to make because you want to talk to a loved one was just a lot for me. Then when I started working, it became so terrible. My first job in Canada, in fact, the only job I did was the only job I told God that I didn't want to do because then I'll be scrolling on my Instagram, I'll see warehouse jobs. I'm like, God forbid, I cannot do warehouse job. God likes to clear my doubt. And I did a warehouse job, and soft girl disappeared, and I entered survival mode. My mom would see me and tell me, this girl, you can just resign. You can resign. But people had this perspective of me that I give up easily, I'm lazy. So I wanted to prove everybody wrong because I knew everybody in their deep heart knew that Opia would not survive it, and I just wanted to just tell them that I know I always say I'm lazy, but if I put my mind to something, anything, I used to do it. So I was like, I struggled and worked in that job. Sometimes I'm working at work, I'm crying as I'm at work, or like I go to the washroom to go and cry and come back. Sometimes I will be praying and say, God help me, God, I cannot do this, God give me another job. Like I was always lamenting. I met people, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough compensation for what I was going through at work. So eventually time came to go back to Nigeria. I was so excited, like that was like my sweetest time. Canada shaped me. I lost a lot of people, I cut off a lot of people. First of all, I first changed number. So on my new number, I just had like very very elite people having my number. So my babe then had my number. My cousin had my number. My course reps had my number, and maybe one or two other people that realized I changed number. Yeah. So after changing my number, life just became very difficult. I was going through too much to be able to keep up with friendship. So if you're coming to Canada, don't if you enter that phase where you start feeling like you're depressed, I would just say it's just don't call it depression, just say it as surviving times, because it's expected. I had no friends. I was crying. Like I would go for church program, I'm on my way home, I'm crying. Why am I crying? I'm just overwhelmed. I just wanted to go back to Nigeria. Like I'm not even joking. Like I wanted to go back home. I didn't want to stay in Canada. Canada people will get opportunity and they were so excited. I wanted to go home. Like I was just going through the most. Like I wasn't adjusting. I wasn't adapting. Like I wasn't associating. In fact there was no forum to associate. As I was just jumping from work shift to shift, shift to shift, shift to shift. I was not picking extra shift, just my normal shift though. But after my normal 4 days of work, I'm just so exhausted mentally, physically, that I don't want to do any other thing. I don't go out. My mom will be like, go out, this girl, me, my mommy really stood on my case. Like, even till now, she still started on my case. And when I go to church, I'm this kind of person. Like, I grew up where I grew up, I wasn't really the one to ever approach anybody to be their friend. If I approached you, prove me wrong. I don't think so. But like most of the people I talk to, most of the people I know, they spoke to me first. And let me first clear that it's not as if I'm proud, but I just know I would never snub anybody. That's what I always felt like. I always felt that I was not wanted. And I could not approach people because I wasn't used to it. The only friend I even have, like the only friend I have till now, I had to approach her, and my cousin had to insist on one Sunday that the person that is talking, sitting down next to you, ask her for a number. You must ask her for a number. And I did. Thank God I did. She has been a blessing to me, and that's how I got my only friend in Canada. There's another person I talked to, and that guy is my boss and also my friend. But that friend will just say hello, hi. She is like a proper friend, and she knows a little things or two about me. So for me, if you're coming to Canada, I did not go to school because I didn't go to school. So I I didn't have like classes that was always meeting my age grade, or I had exams or something that I would need to talk to people. I was just going to work. I go to church on Sunday. I follow the church box and I come back home. So this is my first advice. If you come to Canada, if you travel out, I'll just tell you, always associate. Even if not even traveling out, as a human being, as you are, try to talk to people, try to network. It's very important. Like try to, I don't know how to explain it again. Don't be too like me. Try to smile. I have a smiling face anyways, but aside smiling is not enough. Talk to people. Hi, hello, how are you? Happy Sunday, nice to meet you. Oh, your dress is looking fine. These are things I was easily doing in Nigeria, to be very honest. But when I came to Canada, I could not just do everything. Like, so I said I was depressed because I just had to blame it on depression because I just overchanged. Then I had like a very toxic, I should not use the word toxic, I take it back. I had a very dramatic relationship, and there were a lot of arguments, fights. Oh, you have, because you travel. One of the things the person told me, I'll talk about this part of my life later on in the future in this video. And one word he told me, I'll tell you two things he told me. First one time he told me, if you are here, if you've seen this video, this boy, do not try. For me to see say it, you know that he paid me. One word he told me was that the first thing, like the first 3 months in Canada, he told me one day that it's because I like, that kind of setting of saying, because you don't japa, you don't dey carry shoulder for me, you don't dey too say I'm too busy, I'm not. Guy, I was fighting for my sanity. I was fighting for my sanity, but another thing he also told me was one time I was walking and I was so stressed and I was mentally down, and I was trying to tell him that, oh my god, you know what, this thing that you do when you tell someone that loves you that, oh my god, I'm stressed, life is lifing me, work is stressful. And my then partner was like, but that's what you signed up for. Yeah, like I knew I signed up for it, but I'm not telling you to tell me what I already know. I'm telling you to tell me that I can do this, you got this, is just a phase. Anything to make me feel better about myself at that point was the best thing to do. So I didn't do it. So Canada really messed up my friendship with people because I was tired of explaining, oh my god, I'm busy. I just need people to understand, and I like, if you don't understand, I'll stop talking to you. Then another thing again, if you travel out, that she get used to, just get used to it too. Billings. 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 I was in Nigeria, I was getting billings. I thought I was getting billings. I came to Canada. Billings. Billings. They want to choke me. They want to choke. And the crazy thing is, like, they don't even know if you're really doing well. God, heaven knows that if I didn't have my mom in Canada, probably I would have, if not, the only thing that would have kept me in Canada was the fact that my parents spent a lot to bring me here. That was the only thing that would keep me going, because if it was based on the standard of living here and what life throws to you here, I don't go back. So like always having people to billing you, asking you for money, sharing their problems, never asking how you are doing, was something I had to get used to. Like, let me say they do it before. They do it before. But now it's not like entitlement, like you're outside country, why you don't go get money? That kind of setting. Then the ones that were using me. Now only the ones that were using me. The Lord, I forgive you. So Canada is a place you have to embrace yourself mentally, prepare mentally. Coming back for the second time, I'm way better. Like then I was missing them like mad. I was missing my household. I was missing my friends. Like I was missing to just like my friends, my family. I just like, I'm used to not having to, because I was in university now. Whole day I was school. My family are in Lagos. I am in Calabar. I'm in Calabar, like almost like if I go home, my breaks are always very short. So like I'm used to not having my family around, but I got used to having my friends around, and not having them around was messing with my head. That period I held God with the shit. I said, God, if you leave me, like, have you got to the stage where you are praying to God and you have used tongues, you have used words? You know, when the pastor said words are failing me, guy, I was praying to God and I was praying in pidgin. I just sat at God, I beg. He passed God, I beg, but like I was having proper conversation in pidgin because I just needed him to understand. So yeah, my channel is showing. Well, this YouTube thing, we go get there. So like it's a lot. I'm very very smiley, loving person. So for me to like paint Canada this color, you should know that it's something you prepare. And I feel like every part of the country, like you leave Nigeria, then the lack of sun, my skin was going through a lot. And my melanin is very good. I came to Canada, I was so ashy. I was having skin reactions that were painful. I was constipated. Constipation want to wound me. The weather wasn't favoring me, or like if you're black skin, like the temperature is not our, and we don't have sun. See that sun that you're complaining in Nigeria, you come here, you be finding the sun like thief. There was no sun, so you have to take like vitamin C, this supplement. I don't like drugs. Body pain. Thank God for your experience anyway. So that was what it was. Then I had to go back to Nigeria. I was so happy, and I went back to Nigeria in summer. And then I went out to Nigeria, I was like, I'm gonna see everybody. So I didn't tell anybody I was coming. I only told my cousin I was coming back. It was the only person that knew I was coming back. I spent 1 week at home. Yeah, I spent 1 week at home. In fact, my 1 week was not complete. I had to rush back to school because I got to continue my life now as a student. I went back to school. When I went back to school, do you know what it means to go back to school after you've traveled out? First of all, the advice that your family will pack and give you: don't go anywhere, don't eat outside, watch what you eat. Even naturally, you'll be scared, because before I came back, my gist has casted. They've spread the news that I traveled out. So like everybody was a suspect. So just so you guys know now, I was scared of everybody. Like I was scared of anybody. I came back with my phone. My phone in Nigeria would cost then, like if it's second hand, like 900, 800k. Brand new should be like 1 million then. So imagine me going to Calabar South. I screamed too much with that phone. So I had like my phone, I had the gist had spread that was outside, so I was just really, really very cautious. I was watching what I ate. I was not sleeping out. Like I only had like two places I slept out. Anywhere else. And because I was just really very, very, very cautious. My cousin, that time, my cousin would be like, no allow this your boy is not my house. When they don't call carriers, they beat or they kidnap us. If they kidnap me, no money. It was so like if you travel out and go back to Nigeria, like you just have that fear, like it's normal. Like, hey, may my enemies no catch me, if I lose guard too much, they go get me, oh. They go hold me down for a year. But either ways, I liked my stay in Nigeria. I had fun. I went out. I went out a lot. I went out. I went to church because I missed my church. Charafa family. Shout out. I miss Charafa family so much. So I was any program, any program, church program I was going because I just missed having to just go and love God and be myself. Like in my church in Canada, yeah, I don't used to dance. I just oh my, I thought I would not be watching and be clapping and they'll be singing all these their songs that I can only be doing like this. When me, I want to rap about, I want to sobatot, I want to do leg walk, I want to but it wasn't possible. So yeah, I in Nigeria, I just did everything I could not do, and I think that's what is giving me satisfaction now because like I did everything I wanted to do. I avoided man because man is the root of all evil. Argue with yourself, not me. Argue with yourself. So yeah, you want to travel, I'll just tell you it's a great opportunity. Yes, money. The money is cute. But besides the money, if you're going alone, especially in a place whereby you don't have anybody, you have to hold God. I'm not even going to lie to you. Like you just have to hold God because He's the only one that would help you. He's the only one that will help you. Now only God will. Guys, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. See you guys in my next video.